channel. If you are new here, well hi, how are you? My name is Georgia. I'm here for you every single Friday. On my channel you can find vintage fashion, thrifted style, the odd hair tutorial, and lots of chit chat. And there's a horse going past my window. Today we're talking about how to start wearing vintage fashion and also how to discover who you are through the wonderful world of style. If you love all things vintage and pinup but are wondering maybe where to begin, well my friends, this is the channel for you. I would highly recommend you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and you will never miss another video. Welcome! Hi, how are you doing? How has your week been, guys? So you want to start wearing vintage? Well, you're in the right place. This is my 8th year. 8 whole years venturing into wearing vintage fashion. Honestly, I just don't think I will ever go back to wearing 100% high street again. I love vintage fashion so much. I just feel like it's part of me now. Let's just do a rewind back to late 2012, early 2013, when I had started to wear vintage. Now, I had just started to try a little bit of vintage-ish style into my everyday wardrobe. So I say this cringingly, but it's worth pointing out that I am cringing and I've been wearing it for 8 years. So if you are cringing right now, wondering where to begin, that is just totally normal. That everyone goes through that phase when they look back at how they used to start dressing a certain way and they're just like, oh, no way. So enjoy these flashbacks and these memories that I created when I had just started to wear vintage, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Some of those, wow. I don't actually think it was until 2015 that I started kind of really wearing vintage properly, I guess. I had expanded my wardrobe to wear more pinup and vintage styles, and I was pretty much wearing and dressing pinup every single day. That's right. I mean, it actually took 2.5-ish years for me to finally feel like I could wear vintage properly or every single day. It took me that long because I was just trying to find out what I liked, figure out my sense of style. Also, I was just really unsure about what kind of styles actually suited my body. I am petite. I am 5 foot something. 5'1"? No, wait, what am I? 5'3", I think. Some people will define me as a shorty. I am quite curvy, and whilst there is nothing wrong in any of those things, some styles just do not work for me at all. I was mainly drawn to the 1950s style because of how cinched in the waist and how the fit and flare shape was super flattering on me. Obviously, it took me a lengthy amount of time to figure it out. So don't feel like you have to make that switch like overnight. It is a learning process, it's a chance to discover who you are, and it's not really a quick fix. So let's look at the term vintage, shall we? Now, the word vintage literally means of age, and with such an open meaning, there are many interpretations. Most antique dealers consider an item to be vintage if it is at least 40 years old. So right about now, that would make anything from the 1920s qualify right up to the 1980s or just before the 1980s starts. Lots of vintage lovers will totally disagree with me here and say that 80s is not proper vintage. However, I know that this era is so popular with a lot of people. If you love the 80s era, don't be put off by people who think it's not vintage. If you like it, bloody wear it. Just do it. Just wear them. Wear what you like to wear. Number 1 top tip for starting to wear vintage is work out what it is you like about the eras that you are drawn to. So for me personally, I look at the colours. Number 2. And then number 3, I look at the fit. Now, if you follow me over on Instagram, you know I love all things colourful. Colourful things, they just make me happy. Generally just feel bright and more sparkly and just a bit more like me. The 50s and 60s are eras that are full of colour, and it's why I am drawn to them the most. I think colours were a little bit more muted in the 1940s, and whilst I still love this era, I just think the colours for me are maybe more spring or autumnal, and I just don't seem to dress in 1940s all year round. Fit of the 1960s just sometimes does not work for me, okay? There can be mini skirts and mini dresses and tighter kind of items in the 1960s. As I'm a busy mum, sometimes the miniskirt just does not have a place in my day. But I love the colours and the patterns and the craziness of the 1960s. The geoprints, just everything about the prints and the patterns of colours I am like drawn to. I guess if I am to define my style, which is something I don't want to do, I'm not comfortable doing, and I generally don't agree with, I would probably say edges. So it's still not a definition, but it edges towards the 40s, 50s and 60s. There are parts of each era that I like, and so I generally mix eras, which I know some people are a little bit kind of like, you shouldn't be mixing, but it's just what I like to do. If you are a regular to this channel or you follow me on any other social media, you will know I describe my style as vintage-ish. This is purely because I believe you should not fit into one box, you should not be defined, and you don't have to just dress in one particular era to be classed as vintage. Instead, you should be able to express yourself, find who you are, and wear whatever you feel comfortable in every single day. Are you starting on your own vintage journey? Or have you been wearing vintage or alternative styles for a while now? Leave me a comment below and let me know, guys. I would absolutely love to hear how you found your own kind of style as well. Okay, just to recap, 3 things that can help you start dressing vintage is find what you like about the era, pick your fit, and pick your colours. Once you have these 3 things, you'll probably find it's quite easy to identify which type of era or which kind of vintage look that you prefer. For example, I tried to wear vintage victory rolls on the side of my head. I just felt like I looked about 12. I prefer hairstyles that give me height, which is generally maybe a bit of a bouffant, so a 60s kind of style, or a faux poodle. The shape of my face and my brain just does not agree with having a victory roll. Every time I do them, I try and look in the mirror and convince myself that I suit them, and I just don't suit them, so it's fine. That is the beauty of being vintage-ish. The best thing as well that I did when I was getting into vintage was to connect with other people in the vintage community. There are so many like-minded people out there on social media, and you can start to follow them on Instagram or YouTube. You might see somebody that you think, I love the hair. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a set or what kind of style that is, but I really like the way her hair looks. I'm going to try it on me. So you go home, you have a little play, you maybe set your hair, and then you're like, okay, I really like this style. Now, what else can I wear to go with it? And this is how you're just building and you're playing and you're exploring the types of vintage that are really suitable for you. Now, I'm just going to be controversial for a little minute, okay? Watch out for those people who are purists. Now, okay, do not come for me. I feel like this is gonna lose me some subscribers, but it's how I feel, so I'm just gonna say it. You guys know I don't sugarcoat anything, okay? What you see is what you get. I think it's really important to address that there are some people in the vintage community, they decide their lives have to be more authentically vintage, so they have homes that only have vintage items in them. They live an authentic life as true as possible to the era that they like. Generally, they'll use like products from the particular era that they like. They'll maybe make food, or they'll try and live as much as they can in whatever era it is that they enjoy, and there is nothing wrong in that. Do you guys want to do that? Go and do that. I personally find it fascinating. I love reading about people who live like these kinds of lives and they shun technology. They don't want anything to do with the modern world. You know, I think it's interesting. And sometimes you might find that these purists disapprove of people who generally just want to wear a little bit of vintage, or they don't like people who dress in reproduction. They believe you should just wear vintage, proper vintage from whatever era it is, and there can be a lot of opinions that kind of fly here, fly there, fly everywhere. Repeat after me. I'm gonna ignore those people and I'm gonna just do me. They're doing them, I'm doing me. Stay on your own path, okay? Keep exploring the type of vintage that you like. Don't get so worried or think that you have to live an authentic life like some people do. This is your journey, this is your style, and this is who you are. Now, it doesn't mean what they're doing is wrong or right. They have just simply found themselves and found what they love doing. So that's fine. They like what they like. But equally, you guys can also like what you like. Oh, okay, rant over. Now, Pinterest is a great place for you to find inspiration. Also, I love looking at old vintage photographs on Pinterest. I was gonna say I have a few boards, but let's be honest, I have a lot of boards on Pinterest. I will pin them below for you. Pin them, you see, I'm even in Pinterest land. I will link them below for you. I'll pop it in the description box as well, so you can get some inspiration and hopefully find some amazing outfit ideas. The secret to wearing vintage is this. There is no secret. It all simply starts with you just having a go and trying something new. And then little by little, you'll begin to expand your wardrobe and change the way that you dress. And you will find things that you eventually love to wear. Really important to say that the people that you see on social media, the people you follow on YouTube, these guys are not 24/7 looking perfect like they may look on screen. You are just seeing the best bits of them and the show reel, and that's fine, but just remember that that's not real life, and it's okay if you wake up and you don't have silky pajamas on, your hair isn't in a hairnet, you don't have perfectly coiffed hair, you know, it's fine. This is real life. Remember to be kinder to yourself, take one step at a time, and have lots and lots and lots of fun discovering who you are, dressing up, trying new things, and finding your style. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate you being here with me on this vintage journey in 2021, and a huge thank you to everybody who takes the time to like my videos and to leave me a little comment. I see them all and I read them, so thank you so much. If you want to shop my wardrobe, well, I have a little shop, so I will pop the Depop link in the link box, description box thingy bob below. I mainly sell secondhand vintage, reproduction, and a few pieces from my own wardrobe, so take a look because there might just be something you fancy. Tune in next Friday when I'll have a brand new vintage-ish video for you, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share! I don't know why I do that every week, but it just feels the best way to end my videos. Sorry. Bye!